is a beautiful day to be alive. It is a wonderful opportunity to practice yoga together in the setting from our home, allowing our hearts to connect, our mind to float, and the ability for returning to life after we exit our mat to bring in all of the wonderful practices, all of the balancing, all of the equanimity, the stress relief, the breath work, and the moments of pausing in between. All of these moments on our mat of strength and flexibility can relate to your class of life. Every day that you wake up, every evening when you place your head to bed, it's all a lesson. So today, I hope that you enjoy this class with the mindset of how and what can I take this practice off the mat? What am I going to instinctually sip up like my morning coffee in this yoga routine and practice it as I exit my mat? So we're going to begin today in a child's pose position. So make your way to a child's pose. I'll sit up and I won't do the pose, but I'll guide you through it. So if you wanted to just make your way to your child's pose position, knees can be together or your knees can be apart with the heels together, laying the belly flat, laying the chest on the mat. Perhaps the third eye releases towards the mat. And if it's available, can you take the hands and reach them nice and forward here on the mat? So you're reaching all the way towards the top. And then if you can, press into the fingertips so that this is an active child's pose position. And as you feel that activation in the arms engaging the core, shoulders away from the ears, flutter the eyes closed, and we'll take a few deep breaths together. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release out the mouth. Beautiful. Inhale. Bring in all of the wonderful, grateful air that you are blessed to receive, and release. Again, inhale. Try to pause this breath at the top. It's called the stamba in Sanskrit. It's your chance to recognize the ability to not be attached to anything, and release. And as your hands are reaching forward, still in this activation of your child's pose position, reach the crown of the head so far away from the pelvis here. Gaze is still at the mat, eyes can be closed, arms are feeling nice and strong here. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, release. Flatten the palms on the mat and rise up to your first tabletop position. Hands are spread nice and far apart here. Fingers are keeping yourself nice and balanced. Elbows and the wrists are directly underneath the shoulder blades. And the knees are directly under the hips. The feet are directly behind the knees. We'll do a few cat and cows here. Back is nice and steady and strong. Neck is in line with the spine. Shoulders away from the ears, gently pressing into the mat and rounding the back ever so slightly so that you're not sinking in the shoulder blades. Inhale, drop the belly, tailbone lifts, gaze comes up. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, round the back. Inhale, deepen that breath, pressing into Mother Earth, shining the heart forward. Exhale, tucking that tail, rounding the back like a cat, pressing into Mother Earth. Inhale, last time. Tailbone lifts, lifts, lifts. Exhale.
Good job. Come back to neutral. Tuck the right toes here and tuck the left toes. We'll rise up in the next inhale to our downward facing dog. First downward facing dog in our practice today. You can pedal out the legs, bending opposite knees, pressing opposite heels here. And articulate the pose that feels best for you. It's okay if your heels don't come all the way down. It's okay if the knees are slightly bent. Pressing the hands into the mat, imagine an internal strengthening move from the elbow down to the wrist. We're pressing into the webs of the hands here, not in the wrists. And then imagine an exterior rotation around the shoulder blade here. The gaze is through the heels. The crown of the head is dipping towards Mother Nature and Mother Earth. And just appreciate this smooth moment of deep breath. Tailbone rises ever so gently, creating a nice and gentle breath stream. Elongating the inhales and exhales, not locking out in the shoulders or on the elbows. One last breath here. On the next inhale, rise up on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, gaze comes forward. Take 6 baby steps towards the front of the mat, and then come to a forward fold position for me, please. You could ragdoll the hands, dropping the head, crown of the head reaching towards the mat. Shake your head a yes for more yoga. Shake your head no for anything that does not serve you. And fold from the hips. Let everything drip down like you're feeding the plants outside a gentle drink of water. You're feeding your parasympathetic nervous system here. Every forward fold is a chance to find calm. Breathe. If your hands are in ragdoll, gently bring them back to Mother Earth, and we'll rise up one vertebrae at a time. On the next inhale, begin to rise. Head and the hands are heavy here. Stacking the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Come to your first mountain pose position. And let's appreciate this mountain pose, shall we? Shoulders are away from the ears. Open up the collarbone for breath. Close the eyes here. Soften the cheeks. Soften the space behind the eyes and the ears. Reach with the crown of the head ever so gently towards the sky. And just appreciate this moment of strength. Can you press the fingertips down towards the mat? Can you open up your palm just a little bit as a signal to open your heart? Let's have a little fun and fly. On the next inhale, bend the knees, circle the arms up overhead, arch back if it's available. Exhale, flat back, forward fold, hands come down to Mother Earth. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, bend the knees, and step back 1 foot at a time to your plank position. Articulate your plank here. The hands are directly underneath the elbows and the shoulders. The hips are lifting ever so gently. We're rounding the back ever so gently so that we're not sinking in the shoulders. The heels are lifted. The balls of the feet are pressing into Mother Earth. With 1 little inch forward, with the crown of the head, come forward 1/4 of an inch. Inhale, press into Mother Earth. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Elbows come close to the body. Inhale into cobra, laying the legs on the mat, rounding, breathing, arching that back. On the exhale, tuck both of the toes, come back through your plank, and return to your downward facing dog position. Pressing both heels into the mat, gently reach in with the left heel and then rise the right toes towards the sky. Breathe. Bend that right knee, Open that right hip and gaze comes underneath the right underarm, please. One more breath here, lengthen that right toe, and then lower the toes next to its partner. Right away, gently pressing into the right heel, gently lift the left heel towards the sky. Nice and strong in the foundation with the arms here. Inhale, lengthen the left toes. Exhale, bend the left knee, open up the left hip. Gaze can come underneath that left underarm. Breathe. On the inhale, left toes come towards the sky. On the exhale, lower that left heel next to right. On the next inhale, come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, gaze comes forward, step up or walk up towards the front of the mat, forward fold. Ooh. Hands and the head are heavy here. Inhale, rise up one vertebrae at a time, stacking the spine, coming to your mountain pose position. Breathe. Inhale, lift the toes. Pressing into the heels here, you're finding a nice little gentle balance. You can keep the eyes open, or for another part of your balancing series, let's close the eyes and just imagine ourselves floating in air. Again, thinking, what can you take from this practice? What can you imagine and take with you after you leave this mat? Is it the balance? Is it the chance to close your eyes and gently breathe? Think about that. One more breath here. Open the eyes. Press the toes back down. Press into the toes here and rise up with those heels. Finding another way to balance the body, engaging the core. The tailbone presses away from the crown of the head. Finding nice balance here. It's okay to shimmy shake. One breath here, and then roll down back onto those heels. Let's fly. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Kiss the palms together at the top. Arch back if it's available. Exhale, flat back, forward fold. Hands come down to Mother Earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Spine is nice and tall here. Exhale, plant the palms, bend the knees, step back with the left foot this time, step back with your right. Find your plank, hello abs. Reach forward with the crown of the head, just a quarter of an inch. Inhale, press into Mother Earth. Exhale, lower down, elbows close to the body, chaturanga. Inhale, this time into your up dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Ooh. Finding your breath, we'll return to our practice of lifting the legs. Pressing into the left heel, gently lift the right toes towards the sky. Open up that right hip, gaze comes under right underarm, and breathe. Pressing into that standing leg, lifting that hip. One more breath here. Right toes come towards the sky, and then drop that right heel. Pressing into right heel, gently lift the left toes towards the sky. Keeping the hips nice and even here. Open up and bend that left knee. Gaze comes underneath left underarm. Finding strength and stability here with the hands and the standing foot. One more breath here. Inhale, lengthen the left toes towards the sky. Exhale, left foot comes next to its partner. And breathe. On the next inhale, come onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, gaze comes forward. Step up or walk up towards the front of the mat. Forward fold. Woo. Practicing our chair here. On the inhale, sit back onto the hips. Rise up with the fingertips. Elbows to ears, gaze is at the mat. Neck is in line with the spine. Finding a nice tall torso here. Reaching forward, sitting back, that beautiful sweet dichotomy. And on the inhale, press into the heels and come to our standing position. Hands come to Anjali Mudra. Prayer. Breathe. Ooh. Enjoying the strength, enjoying the wisdom. Take this moment of silence and rest to listen to the heartbeat
Perhaps you go further and tap into the tenderness, the compassion, and the empathy that lives in the heart, and begging, hear its call for you to slow down, to love yourself, to trust yourself. Let's fly. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, kiss the palms together at the top, arch back. Exhale, flat back, forward fold, swan dive. Hands return to Mother Earth. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, plant the palms, bend the knees, step back 1 foot at a time to your plank position. Roll forward with the crown of the head 1/4 inch. Inhale, press into Mother Earth. Exhale, lower down close to the body. Inhale into up dog. Come on to the tops of the feet here. Arch the back, gaze rises. Exhale into downward facing dog. Again, because we're lengthening the legs each and every time we do this and nurturing those 33 bones in the spine. Nice and strong here. Press into that left heel. Gently lift the right toes on the inhale. Exhale, open up right hip. Inhale, right toes return to the sky. Exhale, drop the right foot. Press into the right heel. Inhale, left toes come towards the sky. Exhale, open up that left hip, bending that left knee. Inhale, left toes come towards the sky. Exhale, drop the left foot next to right. On the next inhale, come onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, gaze comes forward, step up or walk up towards the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, sit back into your chair. Rise up with those hands, elbows at the ears. Gaze is at the mat, nice and strong here. Can you bring shoulders away from the ears? Can you sit and press into those heels? One more breath. On the inhale, rise up, hands return to Anjali Mudra. Breathe. Ooh. Gently drop both of the hands to your sides. Hands are now next to your hips. On the inhale, rise the right arm up towards the sky, reaching with the right hand, lengthening with the left. Inhale. Exhale, lateral stretch. Left arm reaches down towards Mother Earth. Right arm paints over like Picasso. Gaze can come up towards the right underarm here, lifting that right underarm so that you're not sinking. One more breath here. Let's switch. Inhale, rise up with the right arm. Left arm comes all the way up like a lever. Right arm drips down. Fingertips reach towards the mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, paint like Picasso with that left hand, reaching over the head. Gaze can come up to the right, to the left elbow, or underneath that left underarm, reaching down towards Mother Earth. With those right fingertips, appreciate that nice deep stretch from the hips all the way through the shoulder bones and the fingertips. One more breath here. Rise up, both hands come up towards the sky. Palms come together. Arch back if it's available. Exhale, flat back, forward fold. Hands return to Mother Earth. Inhale, hands come towards the hips. And rise up with a nice tall spine. Return to your mountain pose. We're going to have a little bit of cardio here to just get the heart rate moving a little bit. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do it first, and then we can do the move together. It's just a little bit of a stepping. So our hands will come to prayer. We'll bend the right knee and step back onto the right ball of the foot, just behind us here. So you're pressing into the left foot, and on the inhale, you're going to lift the right knee, and the right hand drops, left arm bends. Exhale. Inhale. It's like we're running a marathon, like Rocky running up those stairs in Philadelphia. Keep going here. Pressing into that standing leg, lifting with the heart, keeping your posture nice and tall here. Bending with both knees as you step down. One last breath here, and return, shake it out. We'll do that on the opposite side. We'll begin by placing our hands together at heart center, gently lifting that left knee, and then stepping back just behind. Breathe. When you're ready, on the inhale, lift the left knee, left arm drops, right arm comes up, and we'll step. You can reverse the breath here. So each reach down is an exhale. Each step up is an inhale. Sometimes I like to make that shh sound as a way to help me keep going here as full momentum, keeping your posture nice and strong here. Engaging that core, finding your drishti, your yogic point of focus. One more breath and return. Everything gets shaken out here. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling good. Let's return to the front of our mat and just find a gentle balancing position here. Close the eyes. Bring your hands in to Anjali Mudra. Press the heels into the mat. Press the outer edges of the feet into the mat. Shoulders come down the back. Collarbone opens. Heart lifts. Again, soften the space in the cheeks. Maybe you have a smile on your face. Make another intention here to pay attention. An intention to pay attention. What can you take from this practice off of the mat? What can you memorize? What can you take in as a sip of life's water, of breath, of yoga, of meditation, and mindfulness that will inspire you to slow down, to articulate your words, to feel strong and confident in everything that you do, just as you do on your yoga mat. Use that influence in this next series. When you're ready, let's fly. Inhale, bend the knees, circle the arms up overhead, arch back if it's available. Exhale, flat back, forward fold. Hands come down to Mother Earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips or hands can come to shins. Exhale, forward fold, plant the palms, bend the knees, step back one foot at a time to your plank position, pausing here. Reach the crown of the head forward ever so gently. Inhale, press. Exhale, lower all the way down, chaturanga. Elbows come close to the body. Chin meets the mat. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Yogi's choice. Exhale into downward facing dog. Woo! Pressing into the mat with the left heel, gently lift the right toes towards the sky. Open up that right hip, bending that right knee. Inhale, right toes come towards the sky. Exhale, bring that right foot between the hands. Low lunge, pressing into that left hand. Gently rotate from the hips, reaching the right arm up, rotating towards the side of the room, keeping that back knee lifted. You're on the ball of the left foot, shoulders are in line here. You're twisting at the hips. One more breath here. Hands return, framing the foot. Listen to my cues. On the next inhale, press into the right heel and step up to a standing split. Woo! Crown of the head energetically reaches towards the mat. One breath here. And when you're ready, step back with the left ball of the foot back to that lunge position. Engage the core. Inhale, rise up with a hands crescent lunge. Breathe. Shoulders come down the back. Fingertips reaching. Pelvis is sitting. That beautiful dichotomy. One more breath here. Swivel open that back foot so that you're returning. Actually, you're coming for the first time into your warrior two. If you've done yoga before, which I'm sure you have before this video, you are returning to your warrior two position. And breathe. So the back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. The fingertips are reaching far away from each other here. Shoulders are down the back, gaze is forward. Your front foot is in a 90-degree angle. On the next inhale, flip the right palm, left palm comes down on the left thigh, and rise up, painting like Picasso. Right hand comes over, lateral stretch. Exhale, come into an extended side angle here. Right elbow is on the inside of the right thigh. Left arm paints the sky, and breathe. One breath here. Reach, reach, reach with the left hand. On the next inhale, rise back up to warrior two. Inhale, lengthen that front leg. Reach forward, exhale, rotate from the hips, coming into your triangle position. So the right hand gently presses into the front of the right shin. The left hand is reaching up towards the sky, and your gaze can be forward or up with the left hand, yogi's choice. Breathe. There's a nice foundation in the back leg here. You're twisting from the hips, opening up both of the shoulders, and the shoulders are in line. One breath here. Come right from our triangle to peaceful triangle. Engage the core. Inhale, peaceful triangle. Left hand comes behind the left thigh. Right palm reaches up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands. Bend that front leg, coming back to framing that right foot. On the next inhale, breathe in. Exhale, let it all go. Step back with that right foot to your plank position. We'll do 3 push-ups here because we can, because you're strong. Inhale, press into Mother Earth. Exhale, lower the elbows close to the body. Inhale, press back up. That's 1. Let's do it a little bit of a different way. Press into Mother Earth. Inhale, lower the chin towards Mother Earth. Exhale, push up. That's 2. Inhale, chin comes towards the mat. Exhale, press up. Lower the knees, untuck the toes. Sit back into your child's pose position. Pressing into the fingers here again, making this an active child's pose position. Keeping the knees underneath the chest. Letting the third eye melt in towards the mat. Fingertips are pressing, elbows are lifting, active child's pose position. Breathe. Plant the palms back on the mat. On the inhale, rise up through your tabletop. Tuck both of the toes here. Lengthen into your downward facing dog position. And breathe. From your downward facing dog, press into the right heel. Gently lift the left toes towards the sky. Exhale, open up that left hip. Gaze comes underneath, left underarm. Inhale, left toes come towards the sky. Exhale, left foot comes between the hands. Palms are pressing in towards the mat. Press into the right hand. Gently twist of the hips, lifting that left hand towards the sky. Your back knee is lifted. The front knee is in a 90-degree angle. Your shoulders are in line. You're opening up that left underarm. 1 more breath here. Left hand returns, framing that foot. Engage the core. Rising up with the next inhale, press into left heel. Gently lift the right leg up, standing splits. Hands are pressing into the mat. Chin is tucked towards the chest. Crown of the head reaches towards the mat. 1 breath here.
Step back with the right foot into your crescent lunge position. You're on the ball of the right foot. You can come onto the fingertips here, engage the core. Gently lift the fingertips nice and tall here, finding your crescent lunge on the opposite side. Shoulders are down the back. Your breath is soft and smooth. Breathe. Ooh. When you're ready, swivel that back foot coming into your warrior two. Back foot is planted, extension in that long leg here. The front leg is in a 90-degree angle. Fingertips are reaching away from each other. On the inhale, flip the left palm, right hand comes on left thigh, and reach over, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow comes into left thigh. Right hand paints the sky, and we breathe. One breath here. Rising back up to your warrior two. Pausing here, engage the core. Inhale, lengthen that left leg, that's front leg. Reach forward with the fingertips. On the exhale, rotate from the hips. Left hand comes on the inside of the left shin. Right arm reaches towards the sky. You're swiveling at the hips here. The rotation is at the hips, not in the chest. The chest comes second. Your gaze can be forward or at the right hand. Breathe. Ooh. Find your stability here. You have one more breath, remembering to take something of this practice. Maybe it's your resilience off the mat. Engage the core. Remember what comes next. Pressing up, keeping the legs where they are. Peaceful warrior. Peaceful triangle. Left hand reaches. And then cartwheel the hands down. Frame that left foot. The front knee is bent. Engage the core. And then step back with that left foot coming into your plank position. Pausing here in plank. Let's do some side planks here. Rotate the left and the right heel towards the left of the mat. Swiveling that left hip over towards the left. Pressing into the left hand, gently reach towards the sky with the right arm. Breathe. Ooh. Keeping a gentle lift in the hips here and making sure that you're not sinking in the left shoulder. One more breath here. Right hand returns towards the mat. Swivel yourself back through your plank position and then rotate the heels towards the right. Pressing into the right hand, gently lift the left arm towards the sky. Woo! Find your stability, find your foundation here. Remembering we're taking something from the practice. If you need to come down, you're more than welcome to come down at any time. One more breath here. Left hand returns back towards the mat. Lower both of the knees, untuck the toes. Sit back into your child's pose position. Again, let's make this an active child's pose. Knees are directly underneath the belly. Fingertips reaching towards the front of the mat. Fingertips are now planted and the palms are lifted. Elbows are lifted. Third eye reaches towards the mat. And breathe. Ooh. Feeling nice and balanced here, like a nice little turtle. Nice in your shell here, remembering that if we do go in our shells, we can show our truest self, our authenticity, and then we can return back to our tortoise shell when needed. Also taking the spirit animal of the tortoise, we can go as slow as we need to in order to make a difference in this life. There is no reason to rush. One more breath here. Plant both of the palms down. Rise up on the next inhale through your tabletop. Tuck both of the toes here. On the next inhale, rise up into your downward facing dog. Pressing both of the heels into Mother Earth. Articulating your downward facing dog here. We'll stay here for a moment to just appreciate the down dog. Pressing in with palms and heels. Lifting with the tailbone. letting the crown of the head drip and the mind come to a peace and balanced place. Breathe. On the next inhale, come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, gaze comes forward, step hop, walk towards the front of the mat, forward fold here. Leaving the head and the hands heavy, we'll rise up one vertebrae at a time, stacking that spine, coming into your mountain pose position. And let's come to the middle of our mats here. Shake everything out. I hope you're feeling nice and strong here. Let's create some posture for ourselves. We're gonna do a little bit of lengthening the legs. We've prepared ourselves just a little bit in the beginning of class with those 3 powerful leg lifts. And in fact, I think we did a 4th one when we went through our series. So what I'd like to do is take this next series and think in your head that beautiful dichotomy, that beautiful up and down, that beautiful strength and foundation mixed with the levity and the lightness and the reaching of the hands. What can you take with you from today's practice that will enable you to be inspired on this mat as well as motivated as you step off into life? So we're gonna do a little bit of our leg lengthenings here, just an engagement in the core of the spine. Come to your mountain pose position, shoulders away from the ears, heart lifted. Breathe. Pressing into the left heel. Gently bend the right knee and take the right peace fingers, wrapping them around the right big toe. Left hand comes to the left hip. And we're going to remain here until you have your balance. Ooh, I might not have mine. Engagement is in the core. Strength and flexibility is in everywhere, every molecule, and every cell. The standing leg can be bent ever so gently, and also the leg that we're going to reach out can keep a gentle bend. On the next inhale, lengthen that right heel towards the front of the room and breathe, trying to keep the integrity in the spine here, lifting that heel with the peace fingers on the toe. One breath here. Exhale, open up that that right foot towards the right, keeping the shoulders nice and gentle, balanced away from the ears here. You can open up that left hand and gaze towards the left if and only if you have your balance. Left hand can return towards the hip. Right foot can return towards the front of the room. One breath here. Listen to my cues. Keeping the right heel where it is. The right hand comes towards the hips. Finding your balance here. Right heel is still kicking up towards the sky. One breath. And then lower that right foot. Shake it out. Good job. Never easy, but always worth it. We'll do that on the opposite side here, feeling nice and tall. Working with our posture here, right? Maybe the one thing that you take from this class is to remember to not be digitized on the phone, or so engaged with your notifications, or so hunched over on your laptop, so engrossed in your work that you're forgetting to look up at Mother Nature's beautiful scenery or at your family and friends. Breathe. Pressing into the right heel, gently lift the left knee. Left peace fingers wrap gently around that big ball of the left foot. Right hand comes to right hip. Pausing here to find your balance. Using your yogic drishti, shoulders away from the ears. Engagement in the core. One breath here. On the next inhale, you know what comes next. Reach that left heel towards the front of the room. Lengthen that spine and breathe. Never easy, but always worth it. One breath here. If you have your balance, you can open up that left hip, reaching the right hand out. Again, integrity in the spine here. If you have your balance, you can gaze towards the right.
When you're ready, right hand returns, left heel returns towards the front. Let go of the left foot, keeping the left heel lifted. Spinal integrity, pressing into that standing leg. One more breath here. Exhale, lower everything down. Shake it out here. And for some nice calming balance, we'll come into our tree position. But first, mountain pose. Close the eyes. Finding your gratitude for your breath, your flexibility at any age, your resilience to challenge, and using your breath to calm every molecule and cell in your body through this wonderful yoga practice that again is available to take off of the mat. Pressing into that left heel, you can open the eyes. Lifting that right knee, just take a nice hug around. So clasp the hands in the front of the shin and just lift that right knee up, finding your balance. Shoulders are away from the ears. If and when you're ready, you can rotate and open that right hip, placing the right heel on the inside of the thigh. Now you can also place the right heel just underneath the knee to the side of the leg, or you can also place the ball of the right toes and the heel of the right foot next to the ankle, almost like a kickstand. Yogi's choice. Breathe. Hands come to Anjali Mudra. Shoulders away from the ears. Open up those hips. Every hip opener is a chance for you to engage in creative expression. When and if you have your balance on the inhale, reach the fingertips towards the sky like your branches and just let the breath flow freely. We're going to remain here for a moment. So catch your breath, find your intention, love your body. Pressing into that left heel, lengthening the spine, shoulders away from those ears. They love to creep up. Ooh. Hands return back to Anjali Mudra. Breathe. When you're ready, lower that right leg and just shake it out a little bit. How do you feel? I hope you feel so strong. Pressing in with that right heel, gently lift the left knee in and give it a nice hug. Clasp the hands around the front of the leg. Just give that left knee a little lift, shoulders away from the ears here. And just as we did on the opposite side, we'll open up that hip. So left foot comes on the inside of the right thigh here, resting ever so gently. Hands come to Anjali Mudra, remembering your leg positions. On the inside top of the thigh, just below the knee on the calf, or at the floor like a little baby kickstand. This is beyond ego yoga, so we're going beyond the ego, beyond how we think we need to look, and really going into the body and our authenticity, and enabling ourselves to listen to what the body and the mind really need and want, rather what society or everyone else in the room is looking at. It's what's on the internal searchlight that matters. Breathe. Lengthen the spine. Engage the core. Gently lift your branches up towards the sky, finding balance and stability. Yogic Drishti here for your focal point. Opening up that left hip, pressing into right heel, grounding and lifting that beautiful sweep dichotomy. One more breath here. Hands return to Anjali Mudra. And then you can lower down that left foot and just pause here. Let's pause here with hands in Anjali Mudra, elbows dripping down towards Mother Earth. Breathe. In this sweet moment of time, may you recognize the ability in yourself to create a boundary, to walk away, to walk towards, to take a risk. Again, each and every yoga breath is exemplary of the inspiration and motivation to take the practice of the mat. Let's return to the front of our mats here and go through a nice little flow. Feet are hips width apart, shoulders down away from the ears. Hands are in our mountain pose position with the palms opening up nice and wide here. Let's fly. On the inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Kiss the palms together at the top. Arch back. Exhale, flat back, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips or hands on shin. Exhale, plant the palms, bend the knees, step back 1 foot at a time to your plank position. Crawl forward with the crown of the head ever so slightly. Inhale, press into Mother Earth. Exhale, lower the elbows close to the body. Chaturanga, chin meets the mat. Inhale into Up Dog or Cobra, Yogi's Choice. Exhale into Downward Facing Dog. Breathe. You have 30 seconds here in your down dog. Articulate anything that you wish. Can you press into the heels just a little bit stronger? Can you press into the web of the hand between the thumb and the pointer finger? Can you internally rotate the lower part of the arm and externally rotate those shoulders? Dropping the chin, dropping the crown of the head, and breathe. Listen to my cues here. We're going to drop both of the elbows and come onto the forearms, lifting those heels for dolphin. Crown of the head energetically reaches towards the mat. You're on the forearms here. Both of the palms are pressing in, and then you can walk forward ever so gently on the balls of the feet, lifting the heels, finding our dolphin position. Ooh. Nice and strong here. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, sit back into your proud position. Again, we're going to make this an active child's pose position. Fingertips are pressing, palms are lifted, elbows are lifted, crown of the head reaches towards the mat, finding your balance and let go here. Ooh. You are strong, you are capable, you are wise. You can do this. Pressing into the palms now, so the palms both press into the mat. On the next inhale, rise up into your tabletop position. Step back with the right foot. Step back with the left foot. Coming from our plank position, we'll come down to a forearm plank. Lower down both forearms here. You can clasp the hands. The elbows are digging into your mat. You're lifting the hips ever so gently, rounding the back ever so gently so that you're not sinking in the shoulder blades here. You're on the balls of the feet. The heels are nice and lifted. Length in the back of the legs. One more breath here. Listen to my cues because you can, because you're strong. Let go of the clasp in the hands. Press both of the palms down onto the mat. Lower the pelvis, finding your Sphinx. Untuck both of the toes. Lay the tops of the feet onto the mat. The elbows are digging close to the body. The forearms are giving you your strength and foundation. The shoulders are reaching down the back, the crown of the head energetically towards the sky. Your chest is proud and strong. Maybe, just maybe, there's a smile on your face. Ooh, nice heart opener here. When you're ready, open up both of those elbows with alligator arms and let either chin rest onto the hands. Close the eyes here. Take a gentle breath and breathe. When you're ready, lift up the head and bring both of the hands underneath the shoulder blades here. Both palms are pressing at the mat. Gaze is at the mat, shoulders down away from the back. Engage the core, pressing the pelvis on the mat. On the inhale, bring both arms out like airplane wings. Neck is in line with the spine. Exhale and take a breath cycle here. When you're ready, let's fly to Florida. Inhale, lift everything off of the mat. Chest, crown of the head. Arms are lifting higher than the torso. Toes are pointed, reaching towards the back. You're on the flight of your life, heading towards the sweet sunshine and the golden sands of Florida. One breath here. Hands return back underneath the shoulders, lower the legs, and bring the crown of the head towards the mat. Woo. Let's go for round 2. Engage the core. On the next inhale, everything opens up, rising up with that chest, engaging the core, pressing into the pelvis. Can you reach the hands higher than the torso here? Legs are nice and strong. If and only if you can do this, bend at the knees and reach back with the hands, clasping the hands around the ankles. Inhale here. Exhale. Lift. Everything rises off the mat. The gaze is at the front of the mat. Your neck is in line with the spine. And breathe. You're kicking up those heels, pressing into that belly on the mat, finding your open heart here. What a great heart opener. Wherever you are in your day, using this practice, taking this off the mat, how much more compassion can you have? Last breath here. Lower everything down. Come back to your alligator arms. Bring the opposite cheek towards the mat and breathe. Closing the eyes here. Allow your breath to soften. Count 3 breaths here with the eyes closed. Melting gently into your mat, floating with your thoughts to a positive place of resilience. Let both of those breaths let everything out. Calm as a cucumber. Hands come back underneath the shoulders, pressing the palms in towards the mat. The feet come hip twist apart. On the next inhale, tuck both of the toes, rising up because you're strong into your plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. Ooh. Opposite stretch here, just from that arching of the back. We're making that opposite movement here in our downward facing dog position. We won't stay here long. In fact, it's your last one. What can you articulate differently? Breathe. On the next inhale, come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, gaze comes forward. Step up towards the front of the mat. Forward fold here. Listen to my cues. Bend at the knees, come on the balls of the feet, lift the heels, and the hips gently sit on the heels. Rising up with the torso, knees are together, engage the core. Hands come to Anjali Mudra. Open up the hips here for your Malasana. The heels come together, the knees come apart. Your elbows are dripping down towards Mother Earth. Soften the space in the cheeks, in the front of the eyes, and the backs of the ears. Unclench the jaw. Feel the rise and flow of the breath. Smile if you can. And when you're ready, reach the hands down towards Mother Earth. Bring the knees together and sit down onto your sits bones. Feet come in front of you. The knees are reaching towards the sky. We'll do a few boats here. Let's start with a few cat and cows. Your hands are on the outsides of the thighs. Actually, the hands are on the calves here. So inhale, lengthen the crown of the head ever so gently, pressing into the sits bones. Exhale, round that back. Tuck the chin, articulate. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, inhale. Exhale. Rising back up with a tall spine here, pressing into the sits bones. Lengthen the crown of the head, shoulders down the back. Chin is parallel with Mother Earth. Reach right hand and left hand forward. Inhale, lengthen. Rock back onto those hips. Reach the right shin and then the left shin. So you're balancing on your sits bones here. Your knees are still bent. Pausing here to breathe. Hands come together. Kissing the palms, engage the core. Shoulders are away from the back. Let's come over to our right. So dropping the hands down towards the right side ever so gently, letting that engagement in the abs feel nice and strong here. When you're ready, come through neutral with the hands like a lever. Drip the hands down towards the left. It's okay if you shake here. You might be ready for this. You might not be. You can always return back to a child's pose position or a Sukhasana. Returning back with the hands to your neutral position. One breath here. Plant the feet. Lift the crown of the head. Return. Breathe. Woo, are you guys ready for a full boat here? I hope so. Sitting into the sits bones, lengthening the crown of the head. Reach both hands forward here. Engagement in the core. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come back onto the sits bones. And when you're ready, lift the right and the left shin. Pausing here, engage in the core. You're reaching forward with the fingertips. And if you can, right and left toes reach towards the sky, finding your boat position. Your shoulders are away from the ears. You're nice and strong here because you can. Woo. One last breath here. Sukhasana position. Cross the legs, reach the crown of the head. Hands come onto both of the edges of the knees and just find a sitting space. Breathe. The creation of a tall spine for your posture can always be found. A calm and balanced mind can always be found with breath. On the next inhale, reach the right hand back. Left hand comes on top of the right knee. Another inhale lengthens the crown of the head, rotating towards the right. And on the exhale, the gaze comes over the right shoulder. Spinal twist. Shoulders are nice and level here. Heart is lifted, breath is strong. When you're ready, keep the hands down close to Mother Earth. We'll do the opposite on the opposite side. Reach that left hand behind you, right behind the hips. Right hand comes on top of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head. Exhale, rotate ever so gently. Gaze comes over the left shoulder. Maybe you're closing your eyes and breathe. Taking care of all of those internal organs here with every spinal twist. And when you're ready, hands stay close to Mother Earth. Return to your neutral position. Sit back onto the sits bones, bend the knees. Coming into your Dandasana position, staff pose. Lengthen the legs in front of you, pressing the edges of the heels onto the mat, lifting the toes. Maybe the toes even point close to your nose. Finding that strength and balance in the posture here. Reach both hands forward on the inhale, lengthen the crown of the head. On the exhale, roll back one vertebrae at a time, maybe counting down 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shoulders meet the mat. Take a morning stretch here. Fingertips reach, toes point, arch the back ever so gently, and bring the hands towards the mat. Bend both of the knees here. Bring the heels very close to the sits bones. The fingertips reach just behind the heels here. We're going to come into a bridge. Pressing into the hands, which are just next to the hips here. On the next inhale, rise the hips, pressing into the hands. Woo, finding a nice incline. Perhaps you can imagine a gentle ball of energy between the knees, and you're squeezing in, but you don't want to break the glass, right? And if you can, come onto both of the shoulder blades here, clasp the hands behind the back, lift the elbows, press the clasped hands in towards the mat, lift the heart, lift the chest, lift the pelvis, and breathe. Ooh, if you want to feel fancy here, lift both of the heels. Keep pressing and squeezing into that imaginary glass or the orange between your knees. You don't want to squeeze it. Lifting those heels, lifting the hips. Hands come back down towards Mother Earth. Plant both of the palms. One last inhale of the hips, lengthen. Exhale, heels come down and articulate the vertebrae in the spine all the way towards the mat. You can bend both of the knees and bring them in, giving yourself a shimmy shake here, rocking side to side. Keeping the right knee close to the body, lengthen that left leg, flexing that left foot. When you're ready, inhale, lengthen that right foot towards the sky. Hands come clasping behind the thigh. Breathe. Both feet are flexed. Both legs are nice and long. The spine is nice and long here, engagement in the core. Bring that right leg ever so gently towards the body here, and just appreciate that stretch. Ooh. When you're ready, bend that right knee in towards the body. Left hand comes on the outside of the right knee, and then just roll over. So the right knee gently lifts towards the left, gaze and hand towards the right. And if you can, pay close attention to the lengthened leg. So it's the left leg on the mat. Make sure it's nice and long here and active. Both shoulders are remaining on the mat. Close the eyes and take 3 deep breaths on your own. Engaging the core, bringing the right knee back in towards the chest. Left knee comes in to meet its partner. Give yourself a shimmy shake. Lower that right leg on towards the mat, flexing that right foot. Engage the core. When you're ready, lift and lengthen the left heel towards the ceiling. Hands come behind the thigh. Both legs are nice and long. Both feet are flexed. And then when you're ready, you can drop that left leg towards the nose here. Remembering your flexibility is going beyond the ego into your authenticity, finding your own edge here, and staying in that sweet spot of physical harmony with the body. Breathe. We bend that left knee, hands come, and just give it a nice little clasp. Right hand on the outside of left knee. Dip that left knee over towards the right. Left hand, gaze come towards the left. Both shoulders stay as close to the mat as possible. And just take a gentle spinal twist here and breathe. Remembering that long leg, that right leg is active. Don't let that right leg not be active here. Let's still remain active in our asana. We'll get a little bit more rest when we're in our shavasana. We're returning to that ever so gently, very, very soon. Deep breaths here. Engage the core, roll back in towards your center, roll both knees up towards the chest here, and then place the feet onto the mat. We'll come into a wheel position if and only if you want. If you cannot do wheel, or you haven't done it before, I would wait and we'll do it together in a private class, but if you've done a wheel before, we'll practice it now. Reach the hands up overhead, and then place the palms on the mat next to the shoulders. The fingertips are reaching towards the front of the mat. The elbows are reaching towards the sky. One breath here, engage the core. Come on to the crown of the head. Gaze comes to the back of the room when you have your footing. Press into the hands, gently lift up into your wheel, and breathe, lifting the hips here. Crown of the head reaches towards Mother Earth, reaching the hands here, and breathe. One more breath. Come down towards the crown of the head and let everything return towards the mat. Again, bringing the knees back in, equal and opposite movements here. Open up the knees to a Supta Baddha Konasana. Reclined bow position. Pads of the feet together. Right hand comes to the heart. Left hand comes towards the belly. And let's take 3 breaths here together. And on every exhale, we'll say a inhale. Maybe we did an extra one, I'm not sure, but I'm feeling pretty good. Let the hands come to the outsides of the thighs and gently press the knees in together, nice and slow here. When you're ready, lengthen both of the legs out towards the edges of the mat. Reach both of the hands, clasping over the heart here in your Shavasana position. If you have a blanket, you may place it over you. If you have blocks, you can place them in their necessary positions. And I'll guide you through your Shavasana. Start to reset the body, going from active to passive, deepening and elongating the breaths. Start to picture a beautiful white light over the body, hovering like a wing, like a bird that is lifting you, Mother Nature's reminder for levity, to fly higher than you ever thought you could. Let this white light kiss the body with warmth, knowing that white is the color of bliss, it's the color of purity. Let that purity reign over the crown of the head, drip around the shoulders and the heart, make its way around the torso and the hips, reaching and kissing the knees, lengthening towards the ankles and reaching out towards the toes. With the head pressing in, the hips and the heels pressing in, let everything become light, like the wings of a dove. White light, lightness. Smile on your face. With the hands over the heart, my darling yogi, this is your reminder to give yourself an extra breath, an extra moment of bliss. Remembering that the heart has two sides, one for giving and one for receiving love. Feel the heartbeat. Then create an intention. What can you take from this practice of self-love and yoga off of the mat? Let that intention sink into your body now, warm and glowing with that white light, hovering from the crown to the tips of the toes. Start to come into your breath, feeling the warmth of the air. Let the hands go from the heart, reaching down towards the hips. Tickle the hands and toes as if you're touching the wings of a butterfly, nice and gentle. Rebend both of those knees. And in a very slow fashion, turn onto either side in a fetal position, resting head in the biceps. Pressing that hand in towards the mat, rising back up into your Sukhasana position, keeping the eyes ever so gently floated closed here, squeeze and bend. Hands can come towards the knees. Reach around the knees and lengthen the spine. So we're clasping onto the knees, pressing the sits bones in towards the mat. Shoulders are away from the ears and lengthening the crown of the head. Gaze over your right shoulder for who you were before you entered your mat. Gaze comes through center. Now looking over the left shoulder, see the person that you wish to be as you leave this mat today with love and compassion and a gentle yoga kiss. Gaze comes through center, hands can come to Anjali Mudra. I thank you for engaging in this practice with me today. We can end our yoga class with the sound of Om. Take a normal breath cycle here. And we'll inhale for Om. Namaste. Thank you so much for enjoying this practice with me. I hope that it touches your heart and all of the muscles in your body, and you walk away with ever so much of a skip in your step.